In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the blow motor on your Nissan Rogue located up underneath your center console. Underneath the steering wheel, you have your plastic knee board or trim panel right here. You want to go ahead and pop that off. However, over here to the left, where you would normally have a hood release handle here, the cable is still here. Ours is broken off. There is a T20 Torx bit right here. We want to go ahead, loosen, and remove that. And once you have that off, gently pop that down, work this out. On your hood release cable here, there's going to be some plastic clips. You would want to use some pliers to pinch those clips and pull that out. Remove that cable. On the back side, when you use our trim tool, pop that off. And then we have our AWD connector right here. On the front side, there's going to be a little plastic clip here and one on the top. So you just want to press that clip in and work this connector off through the back side. Go ahead and set that panel aside. Remove this lower metal panel here using a 10mm socket. Grab the side panel right here, just to the right of the gas pedal. Gently tug out and pull back. Set that aside. Above the brake pedal, there are two connectors. Let's go ahead and disconnect those. I'm going to use these pliers here to just pinch on the side of this connector here. Gently wiggle that off. I'm going to remove this connector here off of the gas pedal assembly. There's just a little spring clip on the top, a little button we're going to press in, pop that harness off. Now if you follow this brake pedal up, the arm here is attached to this pivot right here. This goes through the firewall. Now there's a clip right here. Use a pair of pliers, pull that out. Now you want to push this pin through. Now this little white unit right here has little lock tabs on it. So I'm going to push that back through. You can rotate it by hand. I want to get it in a position where I can get my needle nose pliers on it. Push that. Use my pliers to see if I can pinch that and push that pin through. All right. I'm going to go ahead and push that through. We're just going to work that pin out on the other side. Now at this point here, there it is. Just by pushing on that, we now have this pin released. I'm just going to set that aside with the clip. Using a 13mm deep socket and extensions, we're going to remove the upper nut holding the pedal assembly in place. Remove the lower left 13 millimeter nut. There's two more on the right side of this bracket. These connectors here are held on to the metal bracket assembly using little plastic retainers. So we're going to use our trim tool and pop that off. There's one up above. There's a 13 millimeter nut right here. Let's go ahead and loosen and remove that one. Now for the upper one, the upper nut, we're going to use our swivel. Using a 10 millimeter socket and extension, let's remove the nut right here on this lower bracket. Using a 10 millimeter socket, we're going to remove the upper nut here. Now this here, we're using a swivel on. This bracket assembly should be a little mobile here. Pull that assembly out. Grab the pedal assembly. Pull this out. On the blower motor, the very top, you're going to see those wires going into it with that connector. You're going to reach up, press in on the side little tab on the right side of it, pinch and pull. On the left side of the blower motor, there is a tab right here, and normally there's an 8 millimeter screw holding the blower motor in position right here. Ours is missing it. But if you have that 8 millimeter screw, go ahead and use your 1/4 inch ratchet and extension, loosen and remove that. Once you have that screw out, you want to go ahead and grab that blower motor, and you have to twist it counterclockwise to unlock it. Now when removing the unit out from underneath the dash, where the screw would have been, you want to come over to the right and there's this little tab. You're going to press down on this and rotate this counterclockwise. That's going to unlock the unit. So there's the screw hole. You find the little tab, you push that down and then rotate. Now part of this, you're working blind unless you want to get on your back underneath the dash. Otherwise, you just kind of manipulate the blower motor up and out. Now that we have our blower motor out, you can see that this is filled with insulation, probably from varmints. Go ahead and toss this out. So for ease of installation, we have an actuator motor right here that is held in place by 2 Phillips head screws. We're going to use our stubby screwdriver, remove the screws, securing this in place. This is going to allow for that blower motor to fit right up much easier. All right, now we have that pressed in, turn clockwise. Now at this point here, if you have that screw to go ahead and install on this little ear tab right here, go ahead and install that. Install our actuator motor right here. Just gonna push that back into place. Install the 2 Phillips head screws, and we'll snug those down. Go ahead and line up the connector, push that in, and you'll hear it snap into place. Bring your pedal assembly up into position. Once you have the pedal assembly in position, I'm going to try and install one of the upper nuts. And get one of those nuts installed on the upper side that'll hold the assembly. Inspect that wiring harness, pull it up and out of the way. When installing the pedal assembly, make sure that the wiring harness is pulled up on the top side. You don't want to catch the harness on the back side and crush it underneath the brake pedal assembly when tightening it down. Let's go ahead and tighten down all 4 of the 13mm nuts. Let's go through all 4 of these here. I want to make sure that these are good and tight. So once that bolt bottoms out, I'll give it another. Once these nuts are bottomed out, just give them that little extra. I want to make sure that they're nice and tight. Install the pin for your brake pedal. I'm going to put that through on the other side. Pop that through. Now we want to rotate this so that we can get the hole to line up. We can install our pin. Snap that into place. And we have our connectors here. Let's go ahead and line these up. And then we have the one over in the back here for the gas pedal. Line up that connector, snap that down into place. Now we need to install this bracket on top of the pedal assembly, and then it lines up with the bracket right above the duct. Once it lines up, you'll be able to pull that forward. There it is. Install the 10mm on the lower bolt on the bracket. So we have that first nut caught. You can go ahead and snug that down. So let's install the other bolt up on the top of the bracket. We have our swivel here. All right, once that is tightened or snugged down, let's go ahead and finish tightening that. You just want to make sure that once that bolt or that nut is bottomed out, you give it a little bit more. You want to make sure it's snug, but not super over tight. Install the side panel by inserting this little plastic retainer right here over the metal tab. Once it lines up, you can bring the side over here, snap that into place. Install our lower metal panel here. Get the 2 bolts installed on the other side. And once we have those started, let's go ahead and snug them down. Install our AWD 2 connector here. Just snap that into the back. And we have our hood release cable. You want to make sure that you have your hood release latch here. You want to hook up the barrel into the hood release unit. Good, install our screw here. And once that screw snugs down, that's pretty much it. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.